Bro, there's Afro beats in there. There's Afro beats in that opening. Do you understand? I'm about to be. I promise you, that's on my playlist. That is there. Moment that comes out, it's there, bro.
We got that black family, like.
Yeah, they about to be having our ancestors jamming it up in there. Yo,
Bro, we gotta be working with Burner Boy or fucking K Tronada or something.
What's clapping, everybody? Welcome to Anime Intervention. This is, well, episode, I say 32, somewhat, 31, 32, something like that. I'm your host, BMG, here with my co-host, Clean Bean. What's clapping?
What's clapping?
Glad to see you here. I'm also glad to have lovely camera people behind the scenes. Producer Iris.
Why are you looking like that? We're not starting the episode with you looking so
I'm not fiending, I swear to God.
No, you look sinister. We're here talking about, oh, like, I'm not fiending. Nah.
I'm not, I swear.
Sir,
I swear, we're here for anime. I'm not fiending. If it's an anime character, then yeah, but I mean,
I swear, if you are like Hisoka, I'ma lose.
There's no children on the podcast, relax. Yo, Hisoka's a diabolical being.
True, very true.
But we are here today to talk about iconic weapons in anime, and this is going to be a very interesting conversation. The reason why I want to mention this specifically is because of our squad member, Random Dynasty. He brought this topic up, and I believe it's a really good topic. Why? Because the conversation of iconic really is a very difficult conversation, because you have to bring up different facets of I guess you could say human interpretation. Because what is being iconic? Like what takes being an icon to the next level in terms of weaponry, in terms of being a person? But we're talking about weapons, right? Specifically. But
yes.
What would do that?
I would say it comes down to like maybe three good things, like the design of the weapon, whether the weapon pairs well with the character, and its powers, like what it does specifically.
See, now that is descriptive specifically to the weapon.
Yes.
But what would come from that to make it iconic? It would have to be, okay, it would have to be this. Do you think about a character when you think about that weapon?
Ah, I see what you...
Yeah. Because remember, the weapon will pair well with the character. But if you actually think about the character, right? I think if you look at the weapon and you think about the character after looking at the weapon, then you're automatically in icon territory. But okay, there's another phase to this, right? And I actually had this conversation with one of my coworkers at work. He was like, is it iconic if people who are outside of the anime space know what it is? And I would say yeah, but it could also be iconic within the anime space. Like, for example, Frieren. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody knows Frieren's goddamn staff now, but the only reason why is because she's so damn popular. You know what I mean? Like, the anime in and of itself is glorious.
Yeah.
But everybody, if you see Frieren, or if you see just the staff itself, you're like, oh, that's Frieren's staff. You know what I mean? How did it become iconic? Well, it set a trend, of course, but it's just popular. But now, I guess, what's the third level of that, right? Does that, I guess, what's the level of icon that takes it to the next level? Would it be something that happens later on down the line where, 10 years later, you still remember that character? Or you still remember the weapon because of that character? Or the character because of the weapon? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what would take it to that next level? What do you think? What would take it to that next level?
You would have to do some sort of crazy feat that with that weapon specifically that allows people to be drawn to it, or like the way it's handled, the way you use it. That's what I think probably creates that iconic level. Like, I'm gonna mention the power pole for a reason.
The power pole from Goku.
Yes, that is very iconic.
I mean, it does extend.
It does extend.
Like
it does shorten.
Many things does extend.
Indeed, it does.
Don't start.
But don't start.
What do you mean, don't start? It's extending. What are you talking? It's a power pole. Come on.
That's not your face. Don't start.
I wasn't even taking it there, but yeah, it extends.
Right. Anyway, yes, it does extend and it does shorten, but we see the way that it's used in martial arts, and along with Goku, the way he utilizes the power pole, it almost became like one with him in a way. And we even see that in Daima. when we have that combat scene in the bar.
Yeah,
And
they brought it all back.
they brought it all back. And don't get me wrong, he definitely, you know, adds in layers and different moves that we consider to be, a weapon like Kamehameha, but like we're talking about physical tools that are used for destruction, wiping out masses, and like completely destroying people.
And that power pole does play a part in the story as well. Like, I mean, obviously it's a legendary weapon in and of itself, but like, just being able to access Kame's lookout from Corn's
Yes.
tower, there's a story element to that weapon specifically. So it does tie to Goku in more ways than one. Um, Now here's the thing with the power pole actually. I mean, I know we still have more weapons to name, but like the power pole disappears because it stays at Kami's lookout. It just stays. It's literally just there. You know what I mean? Um, I think it eventually does get taken, but the fact of the matter is, the power pole is not a part of Goku's life the entirety of his life, but it still does have that impact, lasting impact throughout the as you see with Daima, but also later on down the line, people know when they see it. Oh yeah, that's Goku's power pole. To be fair, it does kind of look like a red stick. So maybe if you saw it without context, you're probably like just that's just a red stick. But like if it has the usual rope attached to it and everything, or it was like a little I don't even know what we even call that. That was like not a sash, but like um producer, what would you call that?
What
Like
the
what holds the power pole?
Yeah, like because it was
what
like
was
a
that, bro? Was
it was like a it's not like a strap maybe. I don't know what the hell it was, but it was something, right? If you see that, then yeah, I guess you could recognize a power pole as a power pole.
I guess it's like a holster technically.
holster?
The
Like
holster, yeah,
yeah, like
yeah. Oh yeah, true. Because the strap had it inside the holster, and he would pull out the holster. So yeah, I guess it is like kind of like a holster
Mm.
altogether. Also reference to
Yeah,
from the based off of the Journey to
the
the West
Journey to the
story.
West.
So there's obviously some reference there to that. So it is a legendary weapon that kind of surpasses anime in and of itself. But if you were to ask anybody today, who like if you compare the two of them, like Power Pole versus Journey to the West, like people are gonna choose the Power Pole over the Journey to the West because more people know about the Power Pole than Journey to the West.
well,
Which
Sun Wukong in the Journey to the West has a power pole.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's also from
Yes, that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying. That's what I'm
Also
saying. Like if you were to ask anybody today about Journey to the
the
West,
West.
there's a good chance that 95% of people are not going to know, not 95%, but there are more people who know about Dragon Ball and Goku than Journey to the West.
Which
Um,
sucks, but
which
like
sucks, but that's kind of just how it is.
yeah.
Um, what was I going to say? You are part of the 95%. That is correct. uh,
Yeah, it's true.
yo, but what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so this is talking about expansion, right?
Yeah.
So it expands past the borders of anime. We're talking about like Excalibur, right?
Yeah, that's a prime one that's been used in a lot of anime. In Soul Eater, it's been used with Face Last Night. It's
But
been
even before that,
but even before that
like well,
with
anime,
Arthur
but like yeah, but
and
like just Excalibur being the legendary weapon that it is, and then translating that over into anime. That is a legendary weapon. It's an iconic weapon. So when somebody hears Excalibur, they're like, "Oh my God, that's Excalibur! That's the sword that they pulled out the ground. It was in a rock or something like that." And if you pull it out, it's because you have like massive strength of the king or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So when you're thinking of it like that, that is iconic in and of itself before it even hits anime. So that it's included in the list, but I'd say it almost has help. You know what I mean?
okay, help as in what?
From the fact that it's historical, from the fact that it already exists as a legendary icon.
Okay, I
So if
see
you
what you
compare
mean.
that to something that's not necessarily a legendary icon in anime right now, which one's more iconic? Obviously, you choose,
Yeah,
the
you
one
would
that
choose that
has
because it's across different media.
yes, different mediums, yes, because even TV shows, everything's got Excalibur in it practically. So, but speaking of Excalibur, like you got you were saying it now, you got what was it? Soul Eater's
Soul
Excalibur, which isn't
Eaters.
even like he's a sword, but he's also like a fancy dude with a top hat,
Yeah.
sarcastic and hilarious too. You got like a cane too, right? Something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that.
He's a funny dude. But and then there's Excalibur in Fate, right? I believe it's Saber that carries Excalibur, if I
Yes,
remember
I
correctly.
believe so, yeah.
So yeah, there's different forms of Excalibur, and it's just super iconic. Um, So yeah, if you compare that to something, let's use something else. Like if we use you got another iconic weapon?
Oh, listen. Okay, I kind of consider all Zoro's weapons to be iconic in a way.
Oh, his swords.
All of his swords to be iconic.
But this
Even the
is
ones that he,
yeah, but in like within the anime aspect of it, right?
yeah, within the anime aspect of it, it's definitely iconic. We know what the Wado Ichimonji means to him and like getting that from his sensei. We also understand that, what was it? Oh yeah, Arthur from Fire
Which is
Force.
also related to Arthur uses Excalibur in Fire Force,
Yeah,
which is related to Soul Eater, which happens to
so
also
would
be
be
the same Excalibur that's in Soul Eater.
wait in this.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
apparently, bro.
Spoiler right here.
Spoiler. Check me, correct me in the comments if you think I am incorrect. But I'm pretty sure I saw that. I don't even read the Soul Eater manga, bro. I don't even read it. But
Are you
apparently
trying to say
there's a connection. For same thing Fire Force manga. I don't read it, bro. But I saw it.
Arthur and his Looney Two head ass motherfucking like
But apparently it's not. So it's not the sword. It's not the sword itself. Because remember, if you watch the most recent episodes, it breaks.
yeah.
It's the soul of Excalibur, I think, is within him or within whatever he uses as a power.
It's gotta be because they both sound dumb as hell.
That's
Like
okay,
I'm
dude.
just point blank. Like Arthur just he sound dumb as hell, but he's saying the smartest shit out of nowhere. And I don't know. I just can't properly label him as a person.
As a person, he's just not a person
No,
anymore.
a critical thinking person.
Okay, okay,
Okay,
yeah,
and that includes myself.
and
Like I got surface, I got surface level thoughts, bro. Surface level thoughts. My brain is just it's smoothed out on the top. Okay.
I was literally just about to say, why are you mad? He's just you.
Essentially, yeah. I'm mad because it's the picture of me. Shit is trash.
There's nothing precise about you.
God.
Oh man. But speaking of that, where we move back onto the cool, we move back onto the
Oh yeah, Zoro.
past Excalibur, Zoro of Swords, right? This is where I kind of disagree with you in a way, because I think that the only sword, from my experience, that is really impactful and iconic to me within Zoro's arsenal is probably going to be the one that almost cut his arm off, but decided not to.
So
Was so
oh,
Enma.
oh wait,
No,
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 no, no, no,
Shisui.
no, no, no. Oh, wait, you think Shisui is? Oh, from
The
well, yeah,
one,
from
yeah,
Boxtown.
from is that Shisui?
No, that's not. Wait, yeah, is that Shisui?
I don't know which sword it is, but it's one of them.
It's either that or it's Katetsu. I don't.
Oh, it
can't
might be
remember.
Kitetsu.
Because
It might be Kitetsu because it's a cursed sword. I don't know if you want to
her
check that on
sword
me,
threw it up.
but he threw it up to check and see if it was going to actually cut his arm off, and it didn't. So he took the sword, and
Can't properly.
Katetsu.
it's
It's
Kitetsu.
Katetsu. Okay.
So I feel like Kitetsu's probably, to me, I think name wise, it's probably Enma because Enma goes hard, especially when later on with Enma.
Yeah, like
So didn't he slash like an entire was it an island?
It's a clip.
It was a cliff,
yeah.
and he
Slap
barely
the
even did anything with it.
he was just trying to use it properly, and it's like okay, and then I saw his like muscle mass
His
getting
muscle, yeah.
strained. It's like that weapon. You can't say that it's not. It's not like as iconic as Power Pole or like anything like that, but
No,
you
no, no.
can't
I
say it
get,
doesn't got some effects.
no, no, no. I agree. I agree with you. I think I see what you're saying. Yeah, I don't know. I think the reason why I say I disagree is because the the one sword besides the one that almost cut his arm off that really sticks with me in terms of iconic would be Mihawk's sword.
Yeah,
But
that
it's only because it just sits. That's funny. Spike Spiegel's cigarette.
honestly, imagine just
Lights a fire.
lights fire or just throws it at some guy.
Explosion.
No, wait.
Wait.
Shikamaru's lighter.
That counts. That's a weapon.
That counts.
That's a
That
weapon.
counts.
That's
That
a weapon.
counts.
We'll
Shikamaru's
get to that.
lighter.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, nah.
But the yeah. So Mihawk's sword, to me, I think that was the most personally for me, that was the most iconic weapon sword period in all of One Piece to me. Because first of all, the sword is gigantic. Bro's walking around with a sword that's more than the size of his body.
Yep.
I mean, we've seen it before. We've seen characters in video games. We could talk about iconic video game weapons, but that's a different conversation. We've seen characters in video games walking around with swords that are too long to be true. Why is Sephiroth walking around with a sword that's longer than like the skyscrapers, bro? Like, chill, relax.
That is true.
Cloud sword is long as shit too. Like,
I mean,
bro,
those
and it's thick.
those technically count too.
And technically, in a way.
Those technically count, and you can also add guts. Guts of
Well,
sword.
the
Dragon's Life.
Gus will be the one that I would use to basically kind of like compare to Cloud's sword in a way, because it's like a big, gigantic sword that's hefty, weight,
Yeah.
and everything like that. But that's another iconic sword. So if you compare those swords to Excalibur, it's like, who wins?
Excalibur.
Obviously, it's Excalibur. But at the same time, you could see where these swords are really iconic. So that's why they're on the list for iconic weapons.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Continue your thoughts though about the swords you were talking.
About the Zoro sword?
Zoro swords, yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking like, okay, you have Emma, you have Kitetsu, you have Shisui, you had Wado Ichimonji, right? It's like every single one of them in their own right, I think can be iconic in a way. Like you have one that's tied to the character,
Okay.
right? That's Wado Ichimonji. You have one that's cursed. You have another one that Shisui that was honestly there with you the entire time, almost. And then you have Emma, which is remnants from Odin. Like it's part of Odin and part handed on to you, and the anger, the pain, the suffering that comes from
The sword.
Is now transferred to you. So I feel like every single one of them has some sort of impact and some sort of I guess popularity.
No, I could see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. No, I can see what you're saying. For me, I'm gonna name another weapon here.
Okay.
Because I actually do want to talk about the swords more, but the fact of the matter is we only have like X amount of time. Um, another sword that I consider to be really, really iconic would be Samehada. Okay, this when we talked about iconic weapons, when we mentioned iconic weapons, the first one that came up in my head was Samehada. I don't know why. I have a feeling it has to do with the fact that it's literally a shark sword. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's practically like a razor sharp, like merman fish sword that can just literally eat you alive. You know what I mean?
Indeed, and it absorbs chakra. So like we have the way it's shaped, we have what it does, how powerful it is, along with the user. It pairs well with the user. So you can't say that it's not iconic. Like I said, I like designs. I like when it pairs well with the user. And like in general, we love those type of like odd and unique weapons that form their own name.
Exactly. I see. See now, when I see the weapon without any character, I always see Kisame. Now, obviously, B gets the sword later on, but like to me, that sword pairs perfectly with Kisame because of the fact that Kisame is like literally sharp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Walking around with teeth like extra sharp. He's got gills and everything. You know what I mean? So it fits. It fits his character. It fits his personality, and I think it's perfect for him. So yeah, that's me, iconic right there.
Okay.
And we can go down the list of between Naruto. We were just talking about the lighter of Shikamaru.
Yeah.
That technically counts as a weapon. That's iconic. But realistically, to me, I think the most iconic after Samehada would be Minato's
Yes.
kunai. Now there are people who say, it's kunai. It's kunai.
I mean, it's
Oh,
literally
you want me to
there.
grab it? Let me.
I mean, it's literally right there. Like
It's right here. All right, guys, peep this. Peep this kunai. You see this shit? Now, like I said, kunai, in and of itself, they did have like the pedigree of being the ninja tool back in the day. They were changed because obviously this is not the normal shape of a kunai. Back in the day, if you look it up, the normal shape of a kunai were actually more like where is it? Right here, more like this, right? More like this. So if you're looking at this, right, and you see it for the first time, you're gonna automatically assume that this is a ninja's weapon, right? There are people who will see this ninja automatically. You have something to say about that, Iris?
It's actually really interesting because in the real world, kunais were farmer tools. They were farmer tools that were then used as weapons when people were invaded by like different forces.
Wow. Shoot.
Educational. You want to do me a favor and come sit up here and teach us a lesson? Let me stop.
Whoa.
Let me stop. Let me
But you're right. Education.
But you're right. No. Absolutely. Hey.
Wait. Whoa.
Anime.
Put the eraser down. Put the eraser down.
I blocked it. I blocked it.
All
Yo,
right.
Ninja Tool for real. But that is, and that is the significance of the kunai within Naruto. You see the kunai in Naruto, and you understand that this is a weapon that comes from history, but it has its place in Naruto. It's not until you see Minato's kunai where you're like, hold on, what's going on here? You look at him. Not only are they special kunai, allowing him to teleport. I believe it's the way he marked this special jutsu on it with the paper seals or something like that.
Yeah.
Able to throw it and then instantly teleport. This kunai in and of itself is tied with the abilities of the user, right? And he makes it his. Like this is his.
Indeed.
If you see this, this is his.
Because didn't he? I can't remember. Yeah, it was second Hokage's jutsu, and then he.
Oh yeah. He basically mastered it.
Yeah, essentially mastered it.
Evolved it, I guess you could say, because the second Hokage was very proficient, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, proficient with the teleportation.
Yeah, flying energy.
But this is another example of having that extra history.
I have to put so many fucking subtitles in this video. The reason that Minato can use that kunai is because he has a brand essentially that he can put on someone that lasts forever. It does not go away. It's the same thing he used when he fought Obito. That the marks on that
is the brand
that lets him teleport to it.
To it, yeah.
So it's basically like at any point you could just get God if he marks you with that. So.
If he marks you.
Yo, wait. I'm not gonna lie. That is the best spin your block moment in your entire.
Yeah.
That's easily the best spin your block. Like imagine if you just like, okay, you was talking smack. Yeah. I'm here.
It lasted after he died. So when he got reanimated, he pulled up on Obito. I was like, what's good?
From the grave. What's good? What's good? Pulled up from the grave. Yo.
Oh my goodness. I can't.
Oh man, I love these kunai. But yeah, that's another reason why it's like, all right, so you take an evolution, means something. Something.
For sure. But I think some shoot, what about nah, I can't say Haku. I can't say Haku's weapons are like iconic. I do like I do like the needles, but like it's needles. It's not.
Yeah, it's needles. No, it's gotta be something that just like defines the anime in and of itself. I mean, it's Naruto, but like everybody knows Minato.
Wait, what about Zabuza?
Oh yeah, that's another good sword. Buster Sword. I'll say that it's not on the level of Samehada, but the fact of the matter is, like in the beginning, you knew what that sword was. You were like, oh, chill, bro, chill, because that thing was giant. If I remember correctly, it had like a circle shape cut into it, where you could grab it. I believe so. I'm not too sure. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I believe so. That was when they were on what was soon to be the Great Naruto Bridge, and
the Great Naruto Bridge.
They the whole throw Naruto act like a big giant shuriken, and then,
and then they duped him. Yeah, that was good. That was good. That's teamwork right there. That's teamwork
for sure.
Let me see what else I got here for. Okay, so let's talk about I know we mentioned the power pole and everything, but Trunks' sword, I do think deserves to be on the list for iconic weapons.
Okay.
And the only reason why I say this is because Trunks' sword without killing Frieza doesn't really mean much. And there's people be like, what are you talking about? Trunks' sword is known for slicing Frieza and the father to bits. You know what I'm saying? That's to me, that's what ingrained the memory in my head. It wasn't the fact that Trunks was walking around with a sword. No, it's the fact that he literally destroyed. Homie was just having a fight with Goku. Goku was fighting, spent like 20 to 30 episodes fighting this guy, right? And then all of a sudden Trunks pulls up and he's like, not today, and uses like a paper cutter, bro.
Yeah.
Like a shredder. Yeah. That's to me, that's where the iconic comes from, personally. Now, to be fair, Goku does kind of use his finger to block every single sword swipe in the next couple episodes, but like, still, iconic.
No, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely iconic. Besides that, though, I think we should mention Bleach.
Let's get to it.
There's a reason why, but
Let's get to it. Do you understand what I'm not?
it's funny how we say iconic weapons, but like it's mostly just like swords.
Yeah.
If you really
If I gotta hear
roar,
roar,
Zombie Roar.
if I hear that one more time, I'm gonna have a flashback. Please,
PTSD from
please,
fucking
bro.
Renji.
You be saying that every time just to get put in a box. I'd rather not.
Damn.
Please stop doing it.
Damn.
Damn.
Bro gets cooked like the entire anime.
I feel bad. I feel so bad. He
I mean,
dripped
so
out
does
too.
Ichigo, but like he be getting cooked the most.
Straight up. Damn.
Yeah, no, the reason why I wanted to bring up Bleach is because like Bleach in and of itself kind of starts with the idea of a very iconic sword. You know what I mean? Like the Zanpakuto in and of itself, like the word Zanpakuto and what it means. We're not going to talk about exactly what it means, but just simply Zanpakutos being Zanpakutos were iconic. You know, being able to kill, well, not really kill, but like subjugate Soul Reapers, not Soul Reapers, Hollows as a Soul Reaper, using the Zanpakuto was a cool idea. And to me, when I first started watching Bleach, I don't know if you remember this, but there were times where I would go to school like pretending I had a Zanpakuto in my hand. It wasn't necessarily Ichigo's Zanpakuto, but just a Zanpakuto period, because I was like trying to
you were
exercise
trying to
demons. You know what I mean? Like
what?
So, but now Ichigo's sword is the one that obviously sticks to me the most because of the fact that it's a big sword, and even in the story, you know why his sword is so big.
Yes, you do know why a sword's so big. It usually reflects the spiritual pressure of the person. Now, when we do get introduced to Byakuya and Renji eventually, they're like, "Oh, oversized Zanpakuto. What the fuck's going on here?" Which it does make sense because it means like, oh, you cannot control your spiritual pressure properly. And he doesn't realize, wait a minute, okay, this is my Shikai form. I can also get a Bankai, and that comes eventually. We see with we had the big giant sword is always going to be iconic.
That's the yeah.
That's that.
But Bankai is also iconic too.
The Bankai is also iconic too. It's very slick. It's very like well defined and like just dark, and it fits his outfit too. Even the outfit change with it. It's like, yeah, it's clean.
It's clean. It's clean, and it fits. It's one of those swords where you know that it's gonna be a good sword. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like, you know, when we talk about iconic video game characters and we bring up like Sora and the Keyblade, we start talking about Kingdom Hearts, and then you get around to the point where you have to make the ultimate weapon, and you make the ultimate weapon, or you get the what's the name of that other Oathbreaker? Was it Oblivion? Yeah, Oblivion Oathbreaker. Once you Oathkeeper, yeah. Once you see those two together, you're like, yo, this is the
What's even worse, Kingdom Hearts has a manga.
It does. I think I have like two volumes, and it was pretty cool. I think I had the one with Shion in it or something like that. But yeah, it's along those lines where you're like, oh, this sword is crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you just say Mario's boot? Yo,
I'm not gonna lie, some Goombas are absolutely like
Bro,
shook right
bro,
now.
he eradicated the Goomba nation
I'm
with
one
that
of the
boot.
Goomba.
You're one of the Goombas. What do you? I'm so sorry that you got absolutely stomped. I'm talking drop kicked, like put inside a box.
Nah, bro,
Absolutely
that man
destroyed.
committed genocide on the Goombas. Like, you gotta relax. Oh yeah, you're right. It's straight up Italian. Yo. But yeah, the Bankai in and of itself, it kind of gave me that feeling like as soon as you see a sword like spawn out of some kind of transformation, you're like, hold on a second. Yo, something's about to go down. And that's where the iconic comes from for me. Like I feel like that just it fits really, really well within that category.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you agree with that.
No, I agree with that. I do think it definitely does fit the the bill. I don't think this is sorry, I don't think this is an iconic weapon that I'm about to mention, but the Shikai version from Shuhei Isagi's weapon, the one that looked like a Grim Reaper,
Oh yeah, yeah. The scythe.
that looked clean.
That did look nice. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
was like, Oh wait, hold on now. You're trying to like add in some like Grim Reaper type of shit right there. Okay,
And didn't
I like
what's
it.
his name? Freaking Amagai's Bankai look like a gigantic flame. No, it was like wasn't it some, like arm attachment or something like that? Like
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
super
some
brolic.
arm super brolic
Honestly,
thing.
I didn't
You
like it.
know, I didn't like
I
it.
didn't like it either.
No, like no offense, but like I didn't like that.
No, I
You
didn't
know,
like it.
filler as
So
well.
to be fair, I remember it, but I only remember it because of how trash that filler was for me.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why. Damn. Um. Besides that, let's move on to the. Oh, so
Hmm?
not a sword this time, guys. I swear to God,
Okay,
not a sword.
good.
All right, the Death Note.
The Death Notes.
And
Okay.
the reason why I have to mention this is because Death Note, to me, is a weapon. To everybody, it should be a weapon because if you die from writing your name, this is a weapon here. This should be illegal. Should be illegal.
It should be illegal.
Iconic because there are people who don't even know anime who they hear Death Note, they immediately know exactly what it means. Now, obviously, Death Note's got their own Netflix adaptation. We don't even consider that. No, nobody talk about that. We're not talking about that Netflix adaptation or whatever the hell it was. Nah, it's bad.
I didn't even get a chance to watch it.
Bad.
Okay.
It's not worth it.
Got it.
The show does worlds better. But just being able to use a book to kill people, absolutely insane. So that's iconic weapon for me. Top of the top. If I were to say the most iconic weapon that's not a weapon, it would be that. Because it's a book that could kill people.
Okay. I can definitely agree with that. For sure.
You got anything else?
I got a couple that I want to mention. How about
Yeah, exactly. People
yeah,
who don't watch anime still know or
they
like
still
that.
do.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's true. It's like I was speaking to remember my coworker I was talking about. I got him back into watching anime and Death Note was the first one he went back to watch because he was like he already knew about it and everything. I was like, sheesh.
They even know the whole melody of the
Bro
theme.
didn't even know anime like that and he watched it. So
True.
but yeah, what were you saying? Next on your list?
I think the scissor.
From Kill la Kill?
Yeah,
Oh
I do think it actually iconic.
yeah.
Like
Yeah, you give me a cosplay idea right now.
you're huh?
Yo, imagine me pulling up to a con with booty tight, my ass cheeks out and everything. You don't remember that one cosplayer? She was Ryuko, and she walked by, and I was like, "Yo, is she not wearing any underwear?"
Why do you do this? Why do you do this? Huh? Huh? Why do you do this?
Listen,
No, because how did you get from point A to point 0999? Like it's not even you jumped from alphabet to numbers. No, guy, you went to damn algebra.
that's why
Nigga.
they call it alphanumeric. Yo. Yo.
My head.
But yeah, no. Back to the scissor talk though.
Okay.
Not scissoring, but scissor talk.
Yeah.
Scissor talk.
Yeah.
Scissor talk.
This is my co-host, guys. This is the guy that you want to listen to. Him. You need church.
Why do I have a platform?
You need church.
I went to church.
You did. I was there with you.
I was praying.
You were praying, but I don't know about that. Who were you praying to?
Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Your Lord and Savior. Your Lord and Savior are thighs.
You know? You might be onto something there. God damn those thighs.
Okay.
Okay. The scissors.
Yes.
They're important.
Yes, they are very important. And they do
because they're the only well, they basically cut the fabric of alien fabric
Yeah.
of that world. So in the world itself, it does have a significance.
Yes, it definitely does have a significance. I do think it's kind of crazy, to be clapping people with like half of a scissor. So I could definitely say it's iconic.
It's like well, I won't say it's the equivalent of a keyblade because first of all, who the hell is attacking people with keys, bro? I mean, yeah, keys, yeah, they can do damage. You can cut things with keys, but like Not with that key. That key downright flat. They ain't got no sharp edge. What's sword doing, bro? blunt force? Yo, like
I got a keyblade right here. What you mean?
that. Hey, chill.
What you mean?
That's what he be doing though. Be smacking people with the blunt force of the keyblade. I'm like, damn, chill, bro. But the scissor is actually a blade. This is called a scissor blade, and altogether, not the Mickey, not the Door to Darkness.
Somebody say the Door to Darkness.
The scissor has an impact on the show, but in addition to that, it is tied. You'll know that it's Ryuko specifically because of the red, and then the other scissor is Satsuki's, right?
Yes.
No,
not
not Satsuki.
Sorry.
No. It was spoiler. It's not Satsuki's. It's the other.
Not Satsuki's. I forgot her name.
It's the girl with the freaking umbrella.
With the umbrella, with the blonde hair.
With the blonde hair, the one that was a piece of shit.
And cuckoo and like just absolutely insane. I forgot her name.
I forgot her name. But I hate that. I hate that bitch.
Damn.
Nah, real. I do not hate her as much as Rachel from Tower of God.
Yeah.
But like I do hate her though.
But we'll put her in that category.
Yeah, we'll put her in the category.
I need to make a note for myself to edit in here the clip from that reel.
Which one?
Just going back and forth.
We're gonna have to
Rachel.
censor all this. Rachel. Yo. The scissor blade's good. Besides the scissor blade, what else you got though?
I also have Gintama's wooden sword.
It's a wooden sword, and he's using it to fight aliens. So I mean, I think this is a W.
It's got to be a W. Like
it's a W.
The wooden sword has been used in many forms of media.
Kendo,
essentially Kendo. So
even though some were like poles, but
continue. Besides that, but like, I mean, it's definitely iconic in its own way. Like you're using not really a very I mean, it can be dangerous. It can definitely be dangerous. Definitely the way King Thomas looking at shit.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But it definitely creates a very, comical theme to King Tama.
The fact that you can use a wooden sword.
The fact that you can use
actually do damage with it.
Actually do damage with it, So I give it props. I would definitely say it's definitely something that I know. If I think of a wooden sword, I'm thinking of King Tama.
Oh, yeah.
So 100%. I can definitely kind of consider it iconic for sure.
No, yeah, that's within grounds iconic, because I can't really think of, unless anybody wants to, let me know in the comments or remind me of an anime that focuses heavily on somebody who uses a wooden sword to go around clapping people. Can't really think of one. Gintama is the only one I can think of. There are anime that have certain characters that use wooden swords for training, and they'll literally clap people's cheeks with them, but that's
not their main weapon. It's not their main weapon.
No, it's not. They'll be using that for training, and after that, they get the actual weapon. I think even Tanjiro had a wooden. Did he? Yeah, I think he had a wooden sword in the beginning. So, eventually it evolves. So Gintama definitely takes it to the next level.
Yeah, for sure. I got a couple more here as well.
Does Hyakimaru's body count? I would say yes if more people watch Dororo, because I love Dororo. I think that show deserves all the awards. In fact, I think it did win a few awards here and there, but it doesn't get that much traction. Not many people know about it. There are people I'm talking to today, they're just like, what is Dororo? It's literally a guy who lost all his body parts and limbs because he was sacrificed to a devil. And he was walking around with just like prosthetics and like no hearing, he couldn't even see. He just walking around sensing things with his ability to sense stuff. That's cool.
That is cool.
Him being a weapon in and of itself, I thought was pretty dope. So I think that's on the list for sure.
Okay.
Let me see. Before I give you the next one, actually, no, I'll give you my next one right here.
Okay.
ODM Gear. This is from Attack on Titan.
Okay.
This is probably one of the most iconic of the new gen, if I had to say, only because of how far Attack on Titan has taken us. Because Attack on Titan was there when anime was starting to really, really pop off in like the early days. I'm not talking about like early. I'm talking about like right when 2012 hit and 2013. Everybody was trying to walk around like they're 2014. Everybody's walking around like they're freaking part of the what do they call it? The scouts, yeah. And they got the the scout, the cape on and everything, and obviously they didn't have the ODM gear on. But the reason why I'm bringing up the ODM gear It's called omnidirectional movement gear or omnidirectional maneuver or something like that. Whatever. It was to me more iconic than what its name was meant for. You know what I mean? Because of the fact that I didn't even realize that was happening when the anime was going on.
Mm.
Because did you see the way these guys are moving in
Yeah.
in the show?
The way they're moving, I'm like,
Especially Levi and Mikasa. Like,
I'm like, sir, did you air brake just now?
did you air brake? Did you just pull a what's his name? Conquest from from Invincible? Like what?
That was crazy. Yo.
Yo, like dead ass. Like, and I thought that the idea of it, and watching the show and seeing the when you get to the middle of the episode, seeing the blueprints of specific things. When you got the chance to see the blueprints of the ODM gear, you got to see like how it works and everything. And there was more of an explanation, and it's pretty cool. It's just to me, it's a weapon because it's like it has the swords that's included with it, but it was also modified later on to include the what's it called? There was like these pressure spikes that they would shoot out into the Titans. So there was that as well. It's really iconic weapon, I think.
Yeah, for
For
sure.
sure.
Easily. Iconic weapon tied with an iconic series. So I do think a lot of people do think of the ODM gear as like a next step and something that's very I think honestly, not that it could be better than Gundam, but like it's sort of like on that same
On the
category,
same wave?
wave-ish, not
Yeah,
like
the reason why I'll say Gundam's a little bit higher only because Gundam's been a thing for a long, long time.
yeah,
And simply because Gundam is Gundam. Like the ODM gear is not the only way that they were using to fight the Titans, but it was the best way that they had to fight Titans at the time before, Eren showed up and,
yeah,
did all that he did. But the Gundam, the Gundam, that's all they had. They were just getting into these Gundams and that's it. Very iconic Gundams. To be fair, Gundam does deserve to be on this list as well because
for
of the fact
sure.
that it's like it counts as a weapon. Obviously, there's different categories of Gundam. Like there's different robot shows that we've watched. There's different like we've watched on Near Evangelion. I mean not Near. Yeah, Near actually technically Near counts. Near uh Evangelion counts. There's Heavy Object. There's a bunch of shows that just utilize the same type of weapon, which would be the robot. The gigantic robot that fights things. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So that counts.
Okay, nice. I got one more that I don't consider Dominator. That Dominator.
Dominator.
I don't consider that dominates this category.
Listen,
Hold that thought.
I'm
What were you gonna say?
I'm a switch.
What? What?
I'm a switch. I just wanted to let you know.
Why?
Why are you telling me this?
Why?
I'm a switch.
Why are you telling me this?
Just in case.
Just in case of what?
What?
I can.
Where are you going?
Wait. Okay.
Memories.
The PTSD is real with
I'm just gonna edit like the cat with like the war flashbacks over this.
Yo. But
As I was saying,
as you were saying,
this weapon doesn't dominate the category despite being called the Dominator.
oh wait, you're talking about the one from Psychopaths?
From Psychopaths. Like it's definitely a very good weapon, very honestly unique in my opinion, and I enjoy the weapon itself, like the way it unfolds like damn origami. But
Oh,
like
that's cool. Yeah.
I don't consider it to be iconic, and I do think it also obviously had flaws. So I can't put in that same category, but I will bring it up as a good mention, honestly.
No, that's fair. No, I agree with you. I also think that Psychopaths kind of needs more fans. It's in that boat where Psychopaths is way less popular than say Tokyo Ghoul. Um, yeah, no, I think it deserves more fans. That would make it far more iconic.
Yes.
For me, I actually have, um, Alucard from Helsing.
Yes.
So there are people who say, Alucard's sword and all that, but actually, I'm actually more interested in Alucard's guns. To me, and I'm a most recent watcher of Helsing, okay, but I know from the fact that there's a Helsing, the original, and then there's a Helsing Ultimate, right? There's two of them. I watched the first 3 episodes of. Actually, no, I think I watched both. I watched both because I wanted to compare them. Um, his guns are actually, to me, I think the most iconic of them all. The design of the guns, they remind me of Dante, and that's another mention right there. Dante's weapons also should be mentioned as iconic weapons, even though Dante, in of itself, is part of DMC. But DMC is an anime, so it technically counts.
Technically count.
But yeah, it's like that. It's like it has that slick kind of like 18th century feel to the design with the way the embroidery is on the weapon, and just the silver and the, I think his other one is black, and how they kind of they have their own meaning to it as well. I think those are very iconic personally for me, from especially me kind of being a new watcher. I just watched that, I think, earlier this year. I think they're iconic.
Nice. I do think they're iconic too. I have a question for you though.
Yeah, go ahead, ask away.
Do you think that certain weapons are paired with characters that like of different archetypes or like who they are as a person?
Yes. Well, I'm gonna say yes and no, because there are some anime that will just do it regularly. They'll just pass a weapon over to somebody because they know that they're gonna use that weapon just fine. But then there's those anime that literally match the weapon based off of their personality. Let's take Data Live, for example.
Mm.
And I know that there might not be people who have watched Data Live, but Data Live is actually very unique in how it does its storytelling, specifically with the way the characters are weaponized. Each character's own weapon is a relation to what they had to go through in their own life. Like Toka's sword, Sandal Foam. I mean, to be fair, she's a spirit, so she doesn't really count. But Natsume's, I think she uses she's like a witch, but she's like a fortune teller. And I think it's there's somebody else. There's somebody who uses a book. Her entire power stems from the fact that she is a story creator. Like, she writes books and she actually draws. So stuff like that, that's a little bit different. But something like, let's say, Zoro's weapons, right? Zoro's a tough guy. But do you think that has any relation to him having swords?
Him being a tough guy having swords. I don't know. Maybe within the confines of like the story itself. Like I have no idea. Like,
We're still listening for Sora's story, but like,
well, I mean, definitely you have to be mentally strong to be using some swords for sure. Like,
oh yes,
he's definitely gone through that change in what he values, especially with what happened with childhood friend. But like, for sure, I do think that there may be some sort of trend in the to certain characters that get certain types of weapons. Like, do anything. I'll be honest with you.
do anything.
Do anything.
Oh wait, you mean trend wise in terms of like which weapon they get based off of their like physique?
I'm talking about honestly
Or personality?
personality.
Okay.
Like, cause
No, you're right. You're right. You cooking?
cause think about it. Revi, dual guns.
Mhm.
Zoro. Well, you don't have like he has 3 blades, but like you're using 3. Um, who else has
Thorfinn has dual blades,
dual blades?
even though he kind of loses them. But
Kirito technically has
technically, he has dual
dual
swords.
blades.
He starts off with one, I think, right?
Starts off with 1, but like all those people have somehow gone through some, and now they're either mentally unstable or just batshit crazy. Like it's
One of the two.
one of the two, or to have something like very unique with them.
So you
Going
think
on.
that any character that has weapons that more than one weapon, if they have more than one of one weapon, then something's wrong with them.
They got to be insane. There's no way. Think about it. Think about it. Logically speaking, if you were to carry 2 weapons or like 2 pistols, you wouldn't aim properly. If we're talking about like logically speaking.
Yeah, that's fair. I can see that. Yeah.
So who in their right mind
We'll walk around with 2 pistols.
would walk around with 2 pistols and get good at it? how dedicated you gotta be to actually aim properly with 2 pistols in your hand like that? Nah. You're insane, bruh. You're insane.
No, I understand.
It's like seeing me at a Smash tournament with this haircut. I'm not stepping up to you. Why would I do that? You clearly have put in the time and effort. I want no smoke.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Ah, yeah, nah. Oh, I forgot to mention another good one. Maka's Scythe from Soul Eater.
Yeah, we were talking about Soul Eater, so Maka Scythe definitely deserves to be in there. Just because it's like the scythe in and of itself is iconic, but the fact that Maka was walking around with it, and it's like, Maka, you're a little kid, bro.
The
Walking
little
around with
kid
swinging a scythe around like you're a
walking
master.
around
Like,
with the scythe
chill.
and like just dancing around the hands and arms.
Yeah, spinning it. Edward Elric.
Auto mail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's interesting because who would you say is the most iconic of the two brothers?
The main reason why it's gonna be
You sure it's not Alphonse?
Nah.
Sure it's not Alphonse?
No.
Nah.
But Alphonse is literally a walking piece of armor.
Well, yeah, but this also is an important topic to talk about technically, because then it's like, do people who like use their bodies as weapons count as iconic weapons?
Count as an iconic weapon. That is true. There are like literally people that have
Like Kirimaru, for example, from Naruto. Like, does that count as a weapon?
that.
Can Alphonse do alchemy without a transmutation circle?
Without
Yeah, right, but he hides it. Yeah.
he can.
Okay.
Oh wait,
Edward's more iconic.
Edward's more iconic.
Edward's definitely.
He's the main character of the show.
He's the main character, so
Main
that makes
character.
sense why he's iconic. But
Yeah.
my question would be, who would you?
I just think of like the first episode, him tearing off the cloak to reveal the automail, and like, I don't know, it's more of an iconic image, I guess.
That is a more iconic image, I
That's
will
true.
say.
Also, I wouldn't call Alphonse's suit of armor really a weapon. He doesn't really use it as a weapon. He just punches
True. He just punches pretty
and
much.
turns it into like the blade.
For
Yeah.
sure.
That's true.
Oh, greed could. Oh wait, nah. If that's more personal. He's fighting, martial arts and like punching, but like even though he's hard skinned is like technically a weapon, but like I wouldn't consider it physical weapon outside of the body that he uses.
One of my friends that had a lot of things to say on this topic, also as a joke, was Luffy's hands. But like, does using your body count as a weapon? Like Kimimari for using his fucking like skeleton system.
I don't know. I guess it really depends because for Kirimaru, he actually makes weapons and then uses them. It's a little different from using your body in and of itself. Because he could literally take out his bone and make it a sword. You know what I mean? That's. I guess.
I guess.
I mean. But yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. But no, you're right. Alphonse there. But yeah, no. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, you know what else could be considered iconic simply because of the fact that I don't know if I really call it a weapon, but the fact that it's being utilized as sort of like the housing of a weapon, so-called weapon that you're using as a weapon, I think it technically counts. The Pokeball and the Digivice.
Ah. Okay.
Because you're battling, you're using them as a weapon, so I guess it kind of is a weapon because you're using it to contain them.
Damn.
But like, I don't know, it's hard. It's one of those like gray areas where you kind of include it, but at the same time don't. You know what I mean? So, but I still think it's worth mentioning because Pokemon is so iconic that the Pokeball is, without anime, on its own,
True.
iconic.
It is iconic for
You
sure.
ask you if you get a Pokeball and put it in front of my mom, she will know it's from Pokemon.
Yeah.
But she does not know Pokemon and she does not know anime. So it's iconic. Digivice is a little different. To be fair, if you watched Digimon back in the day, you'll know it, but Digimon is nowhere near as iconic as Pokemon. Not even close.
Yeah. Not even close.
So, was there anything on your list that you wanted to say before we because I think I got one. I got two
one
more.
more. Nah, I think I went through it basically everything, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to mention that we should talk about. Oh, we should mention Hisoka's cards because I think Hisoka's cards are actually pretty iconic. I mean, Hisoka, we did mention him earlier in the show, but that bro's a heathen. That bro wants he wants Killua and he wants Gon that bad. Chill, relax, bro.
I'd rather not talk about
You need to You need a restraining order. You need to be registered as a sexual offender, bro. Like, relax.
I just need him underneath the ground. That's all I need.
The cards, man, the cards. But the reason why I think the cards are iconic for Hisoka is because of the fact that the way he uses them, yeah, the way he uses powers, but they are so distinctive to his character because of the way he's designed as a character. Like, look at his face, look at his body, look at what he's wearing. He is like a walking deck of cards. He's a walking jester and a walking joker. You know what I mean? That's basically what he's supposed to be. His whole life is a joke.
Just straight up.
Yeah.
Nah.
So, and then the last one I wanted to mention after him would be Escanor. Escanor's axe. Now, Escanor's axe, I wouldn't say it's like superiorly iconic because he doesn't really need the axe to do what he does. But he is prideful as
He is prideful as fuck. I will say that.
What's the first thing? Well, actually, if I ask you about Escanor, what do you remember?
I mean, I do remember the armor and the axe. And the mustache. I'm not gonna lie, the mustache.
Well, the mustache is clean, yeah, clean. But what else do you remember? Do you remember that one scene when I think he was fighting, I forgot which sin, was it a sin he was fighting? I'm not too sure who he was fighting, but he was fighting somebody, and he was just talking the most shit.
Yeah.
Like he was like, I'm just stronger than you, bro. Like, just what are you talking about? Like, you're just trash. You're like, what are you talking about? Like, to be fair, that's part of Escanor's character. But to me, I think that also combines with the axe because whenever he's talking smack, he's also coming down with the axe.
Yeah.
And then also cutting people up. So I think that belongs there for sure.
Okay. Nice.
It may not be as high as the others, but yeah. Last question I'll ask you though before we close out for today. Out of all the weapons that we named, and I'm sure we've missed a few. You guys want to name some in the comments? Which one would you use? Which weapon would you actually want to, call your own?
I'm not sure. Maybe Maka's scythe I really enjoy, honestly. Aesthetic wise and also along with just the look of it. Sorry, no, I said aesthetics already. The aesthetics wise and also I feel like it just fits her character perfectly.
Okay.
So I would probably use that.
No, I'm with that.
Yeah.
For me, I'd probably go with if I had to pick, I'd probably choose Minato's kunai. But the only reason why I do that is because of the fact that I'd have to have his abilities to even be able to teleport in the first place. Because I think that's just cool. But besides that, I'd probably go with Ichigo's Bankai. Because I think that it's a light sword. So that's really not light, but like it's a light sword. So I think I would be able to carry that around without having to carry around that big gigantic sword that he carries in Shikai form.
Yeah.
So I'll go with that.
Okay. We gotta get some more
Props?
more props, some more maybe some cannons or like or
Cannon?
beams.
What?
Yeah, we need some beams. We need some cannons in here. I need someone
Cannons.
I need Samus to come back, just
Well, listen, iconic video game weapons. We could talk about that at a different time, but that's not even that's a different form, of content.
Yeah.
But yeah. Nah, over here, cannons. Would be Pirates of the Caribbean or something?
For sure.
Shit. But yeah, man, listen, it was good having you on for this episode. Next episode, we're probably gonna have a guest. We're gonna see if we can get Dynasty back on here, talk about I don't know, maybe Aura Farmers or something. We'll think of something. I like having that man on. He's chill. But yeah, it's been Anime Intervention episode 32. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe, like, and we will catch you on the next one. Deuces.